Next comic coming to the stage. Nice round of applause for Lowballer, everyone. Lowballer.
You guys enjoying the show?
Yeah.
Me too. I had a really bad day yesterday. I work nights, okay? And you guys ever heard of Murphy, of Murphy's Law of Fame? What can go wrong, will go wrong? He was whooping my ass. He whooped my ass last night, and I get off around 5:30 in the morning. All right? So it's a half-hour drive home. Missouri starts selling alcohol at 6 a.m. Liquor stores aren't quite open, so I'm stuck with like Quake Trip or Schnucks. And Murphy steps in again because I like Jameson. All right?
Yeah.
And everybody was out of Jameson. And I'm not driving all over the cities. I worked all night. And the only thing I could find to drink was a fifth of Jim Beam. Now, the only thing I have against Jim Beam is that it's sweet. It's too sweet for me. And I end up drinking more than I should. Now, just a little bit of history. When I was a child, 5 or 6 years old, I learned that when I was asleep and I had a dream that I was urinating, it was actually better to get up and go to the bathroom. Well, last night, I had a dream that I was actually urinating in my sock drawer. All right? Now, I have one of those dressers where the sock drawer is at my chest. As big as I am not that well endowed. And in my dream, it matched that. It was arcing into my sock drawer. So I immediately got up because I knew I was drunk. I drank way too much. And I went to the bathroom. And I urinated in the toilet. Yeah, right. And I made it back to bed. I looked at the alarm clock. This was this afternoon, or before noon. Yeah, right? Pressure. So I had about 3 hours left. So that's 2 sleep cycles. Before I had to get up, I woke up, made my coffee, sat down, and smoked my coffee, drank my cigarettes. I had a normal wake up. And then I go to get dressed to come here tonight. I open up my sock drawer, and everything in there is soaked. And it smells like urine. And that's why I'm standing before you with no socks on. Yeah, lowball. Right. So, I went around my neighborhood telling the neighbors that I know about tonight, mainly the ones that waved back. But I came across this one, and she said, "You do stand-up?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I had no idea you were even funny." No idea. So I looked at her and I said, "Well, that's why you never judge the venereal disease by the condom that broke." Good day. My wife is really after me to do the DNA test. All the kids have done it. All right. They know exactly where they come from and how much of who they are. I don't want to do it. All right. I was raised to believe that I'm a Viking stock. All right. I was raised to believe that I'm Dutch and English and other shades of vanilla. All right. But I started thinking about it. I said to myself, "Lowballer, you got a better chance at convincing people for the long term that you're white than Elizabeth Warren had at being Native American. So, I work outside. And so I'm out in the sun. You already know I believe I'm white. And so I burn. I get red. I mean, red. And so I've been looking at what these landscapers do with the sleeves that can breathe, you know, keep you from getting red. And I don't want to get real red for two main reasons. Neither one of them are cancer, so I think I need to think about that. But the first main reason is I don't want a Klansman to mistake me for Native American.
Okay.
Second, I don't want some lustful Chinese cook chasing me down the alley with a hatchet, screaming, "Lobster, come back!" Now, I find it a little disconcerting that my Chinese guy sounds more like Gilbert Gottfried. And I kind of feel like that might make me a racist. Okay? And I can see the headlines now. You see the headlines now. Klansman attacks himself in mistaken seafood identity crisis. Yeah. Now, I want to tell you one more thing. This is about me, because I'm of a certain age that we didn't learn to type until 9th grade. Okay? That's when typing class came in. So I don't have the greatest, huh?
On a typewriter?
On the typewriter. 90 of them in the room. Yeah. We all. So I misunderstood tonight's program. They said original content. Now, obviously written by me. But I thought never performed before.
Okay.
I am very thankful you laughed at a couple of the jokes, because I had no idea if it would work or not. You know? And I learned one other important thing. Fuck Gronk.